Welcome, my friends, to this community showdown featuring the Lizardmen, who shall be led by the Undertaker Lonely Knight, and the Beastmen, who are going to be led by Warhammer. So it looks like it's going to be Tehenwin facing off against Captain Dreadlocks as well. Certainly going to be fun. And man, there's some big old monsters. We got the Thunderous one. We have the Umbral Tide. Lord Croak going to be dropping some Croak bombs. Always scary stuff. And Minotaurs with great weapons as well. So man, those guys are certainly up to the task of chopping down some big dinos. So let's take a look at the builds here. In the front line for dinos, we got Temple Guard. So it's very much like a classic Croak box, right? Like very defensive, just use a couple big monsters, use the elite Temple Guard just to kind of hold the line, and from there get the value. So it's going to be Star Chamber Guardians, 2 groups of Temple Guard. Are we in slow motion or pause? It looks like they just were not moving at all. But anyways, it's going to be 3 Temple Guard, one of which is going to be the ROR. In the back, we do have Red Crested Skinks for some nice poison utility. And yeah, it's just nice to have something cheap in the back line, which has okay leadership for how cheap they are. So RCR's back there, Red Crested. RCS, not RCRs. And it's going to be Lord Croak as well, dropping those sweet bombs. And we have Tehenwin on his Velociraptor. So he's going to be coming in with the Flock of Doom, the Amber Spear, and the Manticore Summon. Pretty solid kit. Manticore Summon, very good against, low leadership factions. Amber Spear can be very good against Bestigors if you can get that side angle. And Flock of Doom is good against Hordes. So very good spell selection there for the Lizardman player. And the Thunderous one, going to be thundering around, having some fun. And yeah, that's pretty much it. A very elite build for sure. For the Beastmen, it looks like it's going to be a little bit wider, but nonetheless still quite elite. So we got Chaos Warhounds on either side, probably just to chase down Skinks and just pressure, other targets like that, Chameleons that is. And it looks like he does have a Beastcaster as well, but he's going to be sticking strictly to the Manticore Summon. On the low ground, we have the Destroyers of Drakwald, a bunch of Ungor Spears. Secondary line is going to be Blackhorns Ravagers, 2 groups of Bestigor Herds, which are going to be invaluable this game. Bestigor Herds are actually really good against Temple Guard, especially if you get the charge. Obviously the charge bonus on these guys is 35, which by infantry standards, it's like almost as much as some cav units. It's really solid. I have good AP as well. Oh, my apologies, guys. I just knocked over a water bottle there. Hopefully that didn't traumatize any of your eardrums there. So we got the Blackhorns Ravagers, 2 Bestigors, and several groups of Minotaurs with great weapons. So it looks like it's going to be 2. I could have sworn I saw 3 in the selection screen. Is it just 2? Is he hiding a 3rd one somewhere? Maybe it's just those 2. Anyways, they're going to be very good against big dinos if they can isolate them. But the problem with Minotaurs with great weapons is they go down very quick against Temple Guard with the bonus versus large, and they're quite squishy against things like the Umbral Tide. Melee defense is only 32, their armor is 35, so Salamanders, if they're able to kind of shoot unimpeded at Minotaurs, it's going to be pretty rough. Morker, of course, a very good pick as well, and Korok's Manapers here in the back. Anti-large, armor piercing, can hold their own against Temple Guard, just a solid pick. So the Minotaurs, should be pretty good against big dinos. So let's get this show on the road, guys, and see how it goes. So firstly, it looks like, is there going to be a Manticore Summon coming in already? Yes, there is. So the Lizardmen certainly wasting no time here, going to be dropping that fat, angry Manticore. And I wonder where it's going to go. Probably just sending it after the Bray Shaman isn't a bad idea. Salamander is going to be shooting into Minotaurs as well. Looks like the Minos are going to be taking a headlong charge into this firepower here. I wonder if they're going to. I mean, these guys aren't braced, so they're going to be able to get some decent damage, but it looks like the Lizardman player may have braced there at the last second. So the Minotaurs are actually just going to blitz straight through, which isn't a bad idea. I mean, they have enough mass. And look, he's able to get some decent impact damage here onto the Salamanders and begins pushing through with the Minotaurs like spam clicking. Maybe he's going to be able to get some value, but I mean, he's almost trading 50-50 here. And he did some really good damage against the Temple Guard, so solid stuff there. In the back, the dinos are going to be sending their summon Manticore after the Bray Shaman, which is a really good choice. And if he sits still and gets hit enough, it actually might be enough to kill him. The Thunderous one going to be leading a Thunderous charge into this formation, tearing apart these Beastmen forces. The minigun on top, the blow darts, that's so cool looking. They're just like aiming down there at the beasts. But the Minotaurs are going to be going after the Thunderous one, but not really a great situation because there's a ton of Temple Guard there. Tehenwin's there poking them as well. And the Minotaurs with great weapons are just getting crumbs. Oh man, and the Thunderous one drops some fat lightning on those guys. Now in the main line, it looks like some Chaos Spawn have been summoned by Morker. We have the Korok's Manapers and company just going after the Star Chamber Guardians. But man, I think there was a Croak Bomb here and it just nuked the Blackhorns Ravagers plus these Korok's Manapers. Man, Croak's bombs are so crazy. Now on the far side though, it's going okay for the Beastmen over here. Minotaurs with great weapons were basically able to wipe out the Salamanders. Salamanders weren't able to really get away from those guys. Minotaurs are very fast and they do some really good damage to the Minos, just huge value here. And these Temple Guard are getting crumped pretty bad. And it looks like the Beastman player is going to be surging in with his Hounds as well, maybe to get a rear charge there. No, he's going after that Croak. So pretty good situation for the Beastmen here. Feral Manticore rampages, but at least it's on Croak. Hounds are swarming Croak as well. And his melee defense is only 12, so he's going to be going down very quickly, even at Hound attack. So Croak in a little bit of trouble here. And Morker's Chaos Bomb here is certainly still sustaining. 11 Chaos Spawn probably will be disappearing at about 15 seconds. And the other group of Chaos Spawn will be disappearing at about 15 seconds as well. And there's a massive resurgence of Beastmen. Like, all these guys got nuked off by Croak or pushed back initially by the Thunderous one, but now there's a resurgence of the Beast Herd. They're going to be pushing in, and it looks like another Manticore is going to be coming in for the Beastmen, which is going to be disastrous for the Dinos. And you can see the bounce power actually does go heavily in the favor of the Beastmen right now, as they start to get those summons, and that kind of second wind that you often see with Greenskins and Beastmen when these low leadership factions is really coming in. Croak is going down as well. The Summon Manticore comes in and, oh, just domes Croak with the steel chair, and down he goes, floating up into the Toad Heavens. Wherever the hell they go. Maybe he's going to Age of Sigmar right now. Who knows? But anyways, right here you can see that Tehenwin's going to be fighting on the ground. He has some Temple Guard holding. A nice Flock of Doom. Really good Flock of Doom there by the Dino player. Able to get some massive value. It is overcasted. It's going to be hitting everyone. And the Thunderous one's basically just trying to get away. I mean, if it can outlast his Feral Manticore, that's going to be pretty good. And it's not taking too much damage right now. About 5,000. Hasn't really sunk below it. And it looks like some Red Crested Skinks are going to be coming back in. And is the Thunderous one going to be able to kind of pull this game back in? It's hard to say. The Beastmen have a lot of stuff. Morgar's in pretty good shape as well. I think, yeah, he's on the ground. He's pretty much full health here. The Temple Guard are going down rather quickly here. They're negative leadership, back up to positive. It's certainly a tenuous situation for them. But something that's very good here for the Dinos is the fact that they still have the Star Chamber Guardians fighting, and they're still healthy. 60 models here. They're really putting a beating on these guys. And oh man, that guy just got slammed on by that Temple Guard right there. But the Star Chamber Guardians might be able to kind of resurge this battle. It's hard to say. So Star Chamber Guardians are going to be piling back in, surrounding Morker and trying to get to the Thunderous one, which is a really good choice. If the Thunderous one can stack on top of the Star Chamber Guardians and mitigate some of the pressure coming in from Minotaurs and Manticores and things like that, that is going to be a great situation, because this thing like easily could cause some mass terror routes, which would be devastating to the Beastmen army. And now the Minotaurs, like you can see, they're kind of fighting against the Temple Guard. When before, it was purely against the big target here. So now they're kind of getting taken down here by the Temple Guard, and a nice Flock of Doom as well is going to be very good against these herds. A very tattered Beastmen at this point. But look at that bounce of power, man, just going so heavy right now in the favor of the Dinos here. I mean, that is massive. Star Chamber Guardians are very low. There's a huge resurgence again of the Beastmen, and it looks like Tehenwin's very beat up as well. But a very nice pick here by the Dino player. Is it going to be enough though? Hard to say, as the Bray Shaman, oh, is it going to get rescued by the Hounds? The Hounds try and rescue it, but it looks like Tehenwin is going to be able to shatter the caster there, which is nice. Star Chamber Guardians, the Beastmen should just be surrounding and beating this down, but it looks like they're actually rerouting and sending everything they have after the Thunderous one. I mean, look at this. You got Morker, you have Bestigor herds, you have the Koroks Man-Rippers, you have a lot of stuff here. And they're going to be trying to get down the Thunderous one, which I think might be a bit of a mistake. Maybe finishing off the Star Chamber Guardians first might be a better idea. Call of Violence is going to be going down as well, which is going to give that nice leadership buff to these very beat up Beastmen forces, who most certainly need it, because they're fighting a big scary beast. And Tehenwin, in the meantime, is just kind of sniping where he can on the flanks. You can see he is going to be charging in with his Moses Tablet and probably beating down some of the destroyers of Drakewald and some of these other forces. But the Temple Guard are actually holding pretty firm, and look at the bounce of power. I mean, that should be like point of no return. But look at that mass rout, guys. The Beastmen just buckle under the elite pressure here from the Star Chamber Guardians. Oh my god, is this going to happen? And you can see here the Beastmen are running. Koroks Man-Rippers, all these guys running away. Morker's in pretty good shape, but I don't care if Morker's in good shape. He's fighting Star Chamber Guardians, he's fighting Tehenwin, and the Thunderous one is just going to be getting all thick and angry and just charging in here and actually doing some good damage. So these Temple Guard, who are steady, even though they have 600 HP and like a couple models, are going to be chasing off these Beastmen. And there's a massive Beast Herd over here as well that's pretty much routed off here. And they're all shattered. I mean, it's basically just Morker, guys. And Morker is very powerful, but he doesn't have the best AP values. And when he's poisoned, his damage output is going to be even worse. So the Thunderous one is going to be able to potentially do some great work here. And this bounce of power is ebbing back into the favor of the Dinos. I mean, it's very close, but Morker actually might be able to break the Star Chamber Guardians. This is insane. There's obviously no more Chaos Spawn summons. You guys remember the old days when Morker had 4 summons of Chaos Spawn? God damn, that was impressive shit. But anyways here, you can see Morker the Shadowgave is going to be getting chased down here by a big thickness here. So the Thunderous one getting a nice charge and just cycle charge with it. There's no point to stay in sustained combat. It has a charge bonus of, let's go ahead and see, 70. That's really good. So, I mean, it's called the Thunderous one. It's going to have that, right? But the real MVPs, though, are these Temple Guard. I mean, these guys are holding firm, just holding Morker in place and letting the Thunderous one just get in there and just get those fat, juicy charges. In the meantime, Tehenwin is using his pressure out here on the outside to kind of keep some of the beasts from coming back, but it looks like he's going to be coming in for an Alpha Strike. He does have really good melee attack, plus decent weapon strength, and it looks like Mooger the Shadow gave in a little bit of trouble, and I don't see any Beastmen reinforcements. I mean, they're certainly a bit of a cowardly people when you compare them to the Lizardmen here with the elite leadership. But Morker is going to be probably going down here. I mean, he's broken. There's no way he's coming back. And look at that comeback. That was like the point of no return. That was like 15% over here, 20%. And somehow the thick Thunderous one plus Tehenwin and his elite Temple Guard fighting to the last are able to get back in this game. Now we have 38 best scores coming back in, 34 over here, and these Temple Guard are going to be taking a big beating here for the old ones. I mean, it's certainly not going to be great. That is a lot of guys here, and you can see the last of these Temple Guard, brave soldiers here, are going to be going down. So there's one left right there, and the other Temple Guard have a whopping 13 models. These are the Star Chamber Guardians, and Tehennwyn has good AP, and that is it. What a comeback. Amazing play by both those players. That was a really close game. And, you know, the aggression from Warhammer early on, getting those, you know, freaking Minotaurs bull rushing through, killing the Salamanders, and, like, he initially crumpled that Lizardman army so hard. But the fact that the Thunderous one was able to kind of sustain, man, with the Temple Guard, that was some crazy stuff. So, not much to say there. I mean, well played to both players for sure. I think that if you are going to be going with an Ancient Salamander, or even the Umbral Tide, I think against Beastmen, you have to have stuff to protect it. So I think with his style of play, I don't think the Salamanders were a good choice. I think just cutting them and getting like more meat, like for your Death Star, would be a little bit more efficient. But yeah, both builds were cool for sure. So very well played to the Undertaker, Lonely Knight, as well as Warhammer. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this Lizardmen versus Beastmen game. We'll see you guys next time. Take care.